Whoa! I'm back. And to get back in the swing, here are some simple questions from the Old Testament. Not even a need for multiple choice, although maybe 17 out of 20 is still a good score. Let's begin. Question 1. Which animal did Abraham take with him on his journey to sacrifice Isaac? And that was a donkey. You'll find it in Genesis chapter 22. Question 2. What tea did King Solomon build? And that was a temple in 1 Kings chapter 6. Question 3. What S did Moses usually carry in his hand? And that was a staff, according to Exodus chapter 8. Question 4. Which animal did Pharaoh see in his dream that he asked Joseph to interpret? And that was a cow in Genesis chapter 41. Question 5. Who ordered Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego into the furnace? And that was King Nebuchadnezzar in Daniel chapter 3. Question 6. What R was added to the sky after the great flood? That was a rainbow. You'll find it in Genesis chapter 9. Question 7. What appeared in the fiery furnace with Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego? And that was an angel in Daniel chapter 3. Question 8. What tea helped priests bring down the walls of Jericho? And that was trumpets in Joshua chapter 6. Question 9. What did God make for Adam and Eve after they became ashamed? And God made clothes in Genesis chapter 3. Question 10. How many ravens did Noah send out of the ark to look for land? And Noah sent just one raven in Genesis chapter 8. Question 11. How many days did Jonah spend inside the big fish? And Jonah spent 3 days there in Jonah chapter 1. Question 12. How many brothers did Joseph have? Joseph had 11 brothers, according to Genesis chapter 35. Question 13. How many years did the Israelites wander before entering the promised land? And they wandered for 40 years, according to Joshua chapter 5. Question 14. Baby Moses was hidden in a basket, but what was it made from? The basket was made from reeds. You'll find the story in Exodus chapter 2. Question 15. Who found Moses in the river? And Moses was found by Pharaoh's daughter in Exodus chapter 2. Question 16. How old was Moses when he went to Pharaoh to demand the release of the Israelites? And Moses was 80 years old in Exodus chapter 7. Question 17. How old was Moses when he died? Was he 120 or 125 years old? And Moses was a mere 120 years old, according to Deuteronomy chapter 34. Question 18. Where did Moses die? And according to Deuteronomy chapter 34 again, Moses died on Mount Nebo. Question 19. God turned Lot's wife into what? And she was turned into a pillar of salt in Genesis chapter 19. And question 20. What was the name of Sarah's servant? And she was called Hagar in Genesis chapter 16. And that's all from me. Until next time, goodbye and God bless. And God remembered Noah, and every living thing, and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. And God made a wind to pass over the earth, and the waters assuaged. The fountains also of the deep and the windows of heaven were stopped, and the rain from heaven was restrained. And the waters returned from off the earth continually, and after the end of the 150 days the waters were abated. And the ark rested in the 7th month, on the 17th day of the month, upon the mountains of Ararat. And the waters decreased continually until the 10th month. In the 10th month, on the 1st day of the month, were the tops of the mountains seen. And it came to pass at the end of 40 days that Noah opened the window of the ark which he had made. And he sent forth a raven, which went forth to and fro, until the waters were dried up from the earth. And he also sent forth a dove from him, to see if the waters were abated from off the face of the ground. But the dove found no rest for the sole of her foot, and she returned unto him into the ark, for the waters were on the face of the whole earth. Then he put forth his hand, and took her, and pulled her in unto him into the ark. And he stayed yet another 7 days. And again he sent forth the dove out of the ark. And the dove came into him in the evening, and lo, in her mouth was an olive leaf plucked off. So Noah knew that the waters were abated from off the earth. And he stayed yet other 7 days, and sent forth the dove, which returned not again unto him any more. And it came to pass in the 601st year, in the 1st month, the 1st day of the month, the waters were dried up from off the earth. And Noah removed the covering of the ark, and looked, and behold, the face of the ground was dry. And in the 2nd month, on the 27th day of the month, was the earth dried. And God spake unto Noah, saying, Go forth of the ark, thou and thy wife, and thy sons wives with thee. Bring forth with thee every living thing that is with thee, of all flesh, both of fowl and of cattle, and of every creeping thing that creepeth upon the earth, that they may breed abundantly in the earth, and be fruitful, and multiply upon the earth. And Noah went forth, and his sons and his wife, and his sons' wives with him. Every beast, every creeping thing, and every fowl, and whatsoever creepeth upon the earth after their kinds, went forth out of the ark. And Noah builded an altar unto the Lord, and took of every clean beast, and of every clean fowl, and offered burnt offerings on the altar. And the Lord smelled a sweet savour. And the Lord said in his heart, I will not again curse the ground any more for man's sake. For the imagination of man's heart is evil from his youth. Neither will I again smite any more every living thing, as I have done. While the earth remaineth, seed time and harvest, and cold and heat, and summer and winter, and the day and night shall not cease.